What's up, Multiverse? Dr. Dave here. Welcome to the Geek Lounge. So this coming weekend is Comic Con Liverpool, Monopoly Event's flagship show, and we're going to do a rundown of the event in today's video. So the event takes place this Saturday and Sunday, the 9th and 10th of November, from the Liverpool Event Campus, encompassing Exhibition Centre Liverpool, ACC Liverpool, and since the May show earlier this year, the M&S Bank Arena. Weekend and Saturday tickets are fully sold out. Sunday tickets are also expected to sell out. It's going to be a busy one as usual. The event is open from 9 AM on both days for early entry ticket holders, 11 AM for standard entry ticket holders, and closes at 6 PM on both days. Getting to the venue is relatively straightforward for anyone driving. You'll want to pop in postcode L34FP to your sat-nav phone, whatever it is you use, and there are quite a few car parks available near to the venue, though as always it's going to be first come first served. I never go to this con by car, though I have heard from some people that as long as you arrive around 45 minutes before the event starts, you will get a parking space with ease. That is the 9 AM early entry, by the way. I have no idea for 11 AM standard entry. If, like me, you're coming by train, Liverpool Lime Street Station is roughly a 20-minute walk from the venue. Alternatively, you can transfer from there to the Underground Wirral Line to James Street Station, which is a 10-minute walk, or you can catch the CityLink Route C4 bus, which will take you directly to the venue. Just be warned, they do only operate every 30 minutes, so plan accordingly. Now, Monopoly events, in my opinion, are the best in the business, certainly in the UK when it comes to guest diversity. They have a very heavy focus on guest interactions, you know, whether you're getting an autograph, a photo op, maybe even both, and the guest list once again does not disappoint. Having said that, there is always going to be disappointment abound when putting together a Comic-Con. We have had a few cancellations. We'll go through those very swiftly, and I have to say, guys, cancellations are always inevitable. It can be contractual obligations, you know, if they've now got to go back and reshoot something, or they're now being called in to shoot the new season. It can be like family emergencies, illness. It's just part and parcel with what happens with cons, guys. There will always be cancellations. I know it's disappointing. I'm always disappointed. It just is what it is, but Monopoly will always try and get the guests back for a future con if they can. So Noah Schnapp, David Bradley, Ian Harding, Harrison Davis, and Jake Abel have all cancelled their appearances, though Jensen Ackles was without question the most disappointing for a lot of people. I mean, he was one of the headline guests, he was completely sold out, and is always a popular one at a Monopoly event show, but he'll be back next year, no question. I'd even venture a guess, schedules permitted of course, that he'll attend at least 2 of their shows next year. I know a lot are hoping he'll be at the For Love of Fantasy event in London to finally nab that dual photo op with Jared Padalecki, but let's see. Rumours are he was called in for filming the 5th and final season of The Boys, and just literally yesterday it was confirmed that Erin Moriarty has also cancelled, likely for the same reasons. A lot of upset people on this one too, claiming Monopoly have known for some time, some saying they've known for 2 weeks, especially as we had no panel announcements, no signed banner sale for her, unlike there have been other guests. I mean, I get it, it's disappointing. It's disappointing for me. I wanted to meet her, I wanted to add the signed Starlight Funko Pop into my signed Funko Pop collection, but as I said, guys, it is what it is. It's part and parcel. There are always going to be cancellations, and the fact we do now get the booking fees back from Ticket Quarter, we didn't for a very long time. I believe that policy only changed this year. You know, I've probably lost close to £100 with guest cancellations over the years, which was super duper annoying, but we at least get that booking fee back. So yeah, again, it's very disappointing, but it is not the end of the world, and they have already sent out an email saying that refunds will be coming in, though as you guys can see it says Comic Con Liverpool 2924. I hope it doesn't take 900 years to get my refund. On to the guests that are attending then, and at present only 2 guests are fully sold out, and those are headliners Sebastian Stan and Rupert Grint. Due to how busy these guests will be and to manage things accordingly, emails have been sent out to book a time slot for your autos and photos. If you have yet to receive an email, I would reach out to Ticket Quarter accordingly. At this point it is likely the later slots are going to be the only ones available. One of the other headline guests, and the one who really sold me to attend, is the great Ralph Fiennes. His autos and photo ops are not sold out yet, but he is going to be very busy and therefore has a bookable timed schedule. Again, you should have received an email to book one of the slots. If not, or if you've just literally bought your ticket in the last day or two, make sure to contact Ticket Quarter so you can then book a slot. I don't believe emails will be sent out for the dual photo op with Jason Isaacs, considering there is only 1 slot each day. You just literally turn up at that time. The only other guest who will have bookable time slots is Peggy, aka Dogpool, and despite being at so many cons this year, she still remains uber popular, hence why you need to book a time slot for the photographs. I do believe the emails have finally now gone out, but once again, if you haven't heard anything, especially by let's say Thursday evening, contact ticket quarter. Also, just very quickly, you guys may have seen the colours and areas mentioned on the 4 aforementioned guest time slots. So this is where they will be, and here is the newly released sitemap for this year. They're using the same colour coded system as last year, so green for the M&S Bank Arena, red for the ACC, and blue for the Exhibition Centre. Sebastian and Rafe are in the same rooms that the headline guests have been in the last couple of times. Rupert is in the ACC on the main floor, and Peggy is in the Exhibition Centre. Quick note on the headline guests, guys, particularly for Rafe and Sebastian, you'll only likely be permitted access to the rooms with a ticket. So if you're getting an auto, that does sadly mean your significant other or your sibling won't be able to come in with you. I honestly don't know how it works with kids. I'd like to think your child wouldn't be made to sit outside and wait, and if you are a registered carer with the appropriate badge/pass, you will obviously be allowed in. For the photo ops, it is a little different, as you are allowed 2 people in a photo, and infants don't count either. I believe they class an infant as under 5 if I'm not mistaken. This, by the way, is the same for all photo ops with all guests, including duo and multi-ops as well. As it relates to autos, if the guest does have a standard table setup, so you just like queue going towards their table, you likely will be able to go up with 2, 3, even sometimes 4 persons. It really is always dependent on the guest. If they do have like this kind of purpose-built curtain setup where you don't actually see the guests until you're literally through the curtains, that I honestly don't know about. I guess you'll have to find out on the day. Back to the guest list then, and none of these have time slots that you must book. They will of course have schedules for auto and photo sessions and any panels taking place, as well as breaks, but you won't need to actually book a slot and can turn up at any of those times. So one of the other headline guests is Liv Tyler, whose Saturday and Sunday auto and photo ops are still available. I would imagine she'll most likely have a purpose-built curtain setup, but let's see. Joining Liv as a kind of mini Lord of the Rings reunion are Craig Parker and Miranda Otto, both also attending the whole weekend. I've mentioned Rafe and Rupert already. This year's Comic Con Liverpool October is going Harry Potter heavy. There is also Jason Isaacs, who I mentioned earlier, will have a dual photo op with Rafe. There is Mark Williams and Chris Rankin, who do have a Weasley photo op that is still available actually for the Saturday. Speaking of which, Rupert and Chris are Saturday only. Brought in as a late replacement for David Bradley is Nick Moran, who is also only attending on the Saturday. There is then Harry Melling, Devon Murray and Jesse Cave, who are all Sunday only, and of course the great Warwick Davis will also be attending for both days. His daughter Annabelle will also be in attendance for the Sunday only. There is a small Supernatural reunion too, with Jim Beaver, Felicia Day, Elena Huffman, David Hayden Jones and Mark Pellegrino also now back as a guest. He had to cancel after booking a new gig as a producer on something, but it was delayed, and so now he returns. There is a Supernatural group photo available for all 5 guests. The ticket quarter image is not updated and still shows Jake Abel, but it does actually include Mark. All 5 guests are attending both Saturday and Sunday, and the group photo op for the Saturday is sold out, so make sure you book the Sunday one ASAP if you want in. Freya Allen of Witcher and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes fame is in attendance. Monopoly mentioned that tickets for her were moving fast, but currently auto and photo ops for both days are available. Elliot Page is another great guest addition, attending both days with autos, photos and an auto and selfie combo available. Although I don't believe there has been any official announcement from Monopoly, I have been told by several people that he is happy to sign items and discuss characters that he played prior to coming out as a trans man. But we will have to see on the day. Just remember to be courteous and respectful. And there are a few other reunions, including Pretty Little Liars with Sasha Peters, I think that's how you pronounce her name, Troyan Belisario, Keegan Allen and Tyler Blackburn, all attending both days. They also have a group photo op currently still available for both days. There's also a Torchwood reunion with John Barrowman, Gareth David Lloyd and Kai Owen, along with a trio photo op, but it is Saturday only, with all 3 guests only attending the Saturday. And the last group theme are some of the casts of the Baldur's Gate video game, who have been getting around to a lot of cons this past year. In attendance we have the seemingly ever popular Neil Newbon, Theo Solomon, Jennifer English, Devorah Wild and Aliona Baranova. Again, I really hope I didn't butcher her name. All 5 guests are in attendance all weekend, and there is a group photo op still available for both days. I'm actually really interested to see how busy Neil will be. He was crazy busy at MCM last year, and also still very busy at MCM 2 weeks ago. But Liverpool is still somewhat a different crowd to MCM. I mean, let's see. All these guests are also pay at their table on the day for autos. Going through the rest of the guests then, we've got got Brandon Routh on both days, Matt Ryan attending the Sunday only, likewise so too is Ricky Tomlinson. Naji Jeter, the voice of Miles Morales from the very popular Spider-Man video games on PlayStation, will be attending both days. Steve Whitmire is also attending both days, most famous for inheriting the roles of Kermit the Frog and Ernie following the death of Jim Henson. In fact, the rest of the guests attending are all weekenders. There's Peyton List from Picard, Babs Olusanmokun and Melissa Navia. I really hope I didn't butcher those names. From Strange New Worlds will be in attendance. Rather strange though we don't have a dual photo op with those guys. There's Lucas Grabeel of High School Musical fame, Alex Vincent of Chucky fame, and last but certainly not least, Zach Galligan along with Gizmo. So the photo op schedules for all the guests were finally released yesterday. I know a lot of people have been waiting for them to plan their days accordingly, though at the time of filming the auto, or I guess guest individual schedules have yet to materialize, but they are imminent. If you are desperate for some semblance of planning and they're still not out, you can peruse the photo schedules to roughly work out when the guests will be at their tables for the autos. Just remember they will have a couple of breaks, including lunch as well. The guest, prop and attraction locations have also been released, confirming who and what is in each venue. We won't go through it all here. You guys can either screenshot the video or check it out on their socials, either on X, Insta or Facebook, so you can plan accordingly. Now, I didn't actually attend the show in May when they introduced the third venue, but I have heard there is now a one-way system to get everyone from venue to venue in an orderly fashion, and depending on how busy it is, allow for around 10 minutes if you need to get from the M&S Bank Arena to the Exhibition Centre and vice versa. And one last quick note on the guests, guys. Pre-orders for autos and photo ops will be taken offline at 7 PM this Friday. You can still pay at the table at the show as long as the guest isn't sold out, but normally it is a little more expensive. Only in rare instances you might save maybe a tiny bit on the booking fee if they have rounded down. Card will be accepted at the show, but it is recommended to bring cash as well. With that many people, the Wi-Fi can be temperamental. Also available for purchase is Monopoly's Certificate of Authenticity that you can add to each signed item. There are photograph albums as well as photograph and autograph frames you can get for display purposes, and the souvenir lanyard programs, which will have the day's schedules attached, though I do believe you need to buy Saturday and Sunday separately. At time of filming, tickets are still available for the after party, which kicks off at 7 PM till late at Camp and Furnace. It will set you back £22 for entry, and Craig Charles of Red Dwarf fame will be doing a 90-minute Funk and Soul set, and Lucas Grabeel will also be performing a 45-minute set, so make sure to grab your tickets sooner rather than later if you wish to attend. There are also some extra ticketed events this year, including a bunch of Comic Con quizzes for the likes of Supernatural, Pretty Little Liars, Marvel, Star Wars and Harry Potter, taking place across both days. Entry is £5 plus fees, and you guys can see some pretty decent prices are on hand, especially if you come in first. Harry Potter potion making classes make their return with multiple time slots across both days. As I understand, they last 40 minutes and will set you back $13.75. There is also the Muppet Christmas Carol live commentary screening with Steve Whitmire. This takes place on Saturday at 6:30 PM after the show, and there are only limited tickets available at the time of filming. They are towards the back of the auditorium, so make sure you grab those ASAP so you don't miss out. And then we of course have the panels, which were finally announced the other day across halls 1A and 1B, which are in the ACC. Again, this is the red area on the map. Those quizzes I mentioned a few seconds ago, they will all be in hall 1C. Now, I won't go through all the panels. You guys can find these on their socials, or again take a quick screenshot of the video, but the Harry Potter 2 panel on Saturday at 4:45 with Rafe and Jason, and the Sebastian Stan panel at the same time on the Sunday are chargeable, and tickets are now quite limited at the time of filming, so make sure you go ahead and book these if you do want to attend those panels. The rest are free but are on a first come first served basis, so you will have to queue ahead of time to get a seat, and all of the panels are broadcast to each venue too if you couldn't make it. And speaking of queuing, guys, you'll be doing a ton of it this weekend if you're getting auto or photo ops, or maybe if you're trying to get into a panel. I would honestly recommend one of these bad boys, a fold out stool. You can get them pretty cheap from Amazon. You know, if you did need to order one like today, it should hopefully arrive tomorrow if you do have Prime, that is. They are a lifesaver at these cons. They just kind of stretch out like that, as you can see, and then you just kind of plop it down. They're very sturdy. Not really got it fully in the shot there for you guys. And yeah, you can just rest your weary legs. You know, I get sore ankles, I get Achilles tendonitis, so these have been a lifesaver for me at Comic Cons. As it relates to accessibility and skipping ahead in the queues, I know Monopoly do have accessibility passes that you can apply for, but they sold out a long time ago. They only ever have a limited number. So what I've heard from a lot of people is that if you speak to a particular staff member and you have like an access ID card, like a Nimbus card for instance, They may let you go into the Diamond Lane Pass, which will let you skip the general queue, but I've also heard that some people don't allow this. It kind of like depends on which staff member you get, which is sadly the case for so many things, right? Sometimes you'll get someone who is like, and I mean like in general day life, right? Sometimes you'll get someone who's really nice, sometimes you'll get someone who's horrible and they don't want to help at all. So I've kind of heard differing stories with that. But one thing I will say is that even if you get into the Diamond Pass, if it's a very busy guest, there'll still be some element of queuing. I would say just expect to at least queue for a bit this weekend. Now, I had previously mentioned the props and attractions, which are always really cool to grab some free photo ops with. These are just a handful of what will be there, including a newly built Hagrid's hut making its debut at the show. There will also be live wrestling, live performances, the ever popular cosplay championships and masquerade, all taking place over on the live stage in the M&S Bank Arena. Food-wise, there are always a bunch of different options both inside and outside of the venue, though I have been told if you're bringing in food from the outside, security may take both food and drink off of you if it is branded. That's personally never happened to me. Maybe it's something they implemented from the May show earlier this year. I honestly don't know. It's just what I've heard from a lot of people. And last but certainly not least are all of the wonderful traders ready to peddle their wares and such. Now, if you guys have watched me before, or if it wasn't obvious, I do collect Funko Pops, and two of our good friends of the channel will have their awesome Funko Pop booths in attendance once again: Cult Collectibles and Persona Toys. If you guys come across them, just mention that Geek Lounge sent you there. You may just get a discount off your purchase. As always, if you do happen to spot me amongst the thousands and thousands in attendance, which I honestly find surreal that it does happen, please do say hello. I love meeting you guys who watch and support the channel. It honestly makes my day. And one last thing I will say, make sure you have fun. I know these cons can be stressful, I know they can be anxious, but don't let that take over. Don't let it ruin your day or your weekend. You know, relax, breathe, wear a smile. Trust me, it will make your experience at the con a hell of a lot better. Guys, I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. I hope it did help in some way. Please do drop some comments below, especially if there is anything I missed that you feel people should know, or even if you do have any questions. As a con vet, I will try to answer for you. Otherwise, I guess I'll see you at Comic Con Liverpool. Peace out, nerds!